Welcome to Aviation for Youth, your gateway to real stories, insights, and inspiration from leaders shaping the skies in the travel world. Hi everyone, I'm your host Alibek, and today I'm really excited to bring you a special guest who has shaped the aviation industry from the classroom to the runway. Professor Dr. Konstantinos Kalligiannis is the head of the Aviation Management Program at the IU International University and a highly respected aviation expert. He's led major airport projects around the world, from Greece and Portugal to India and the Middle East, and has helped shape national aviation strategies, airport operational plans, and air traffic forecasting. Beyond his consulting work, Professor Kalligiannis is also deeply involved in aviation education and professional training, having taught and trained aviation professionals across Europe, the US, and the Middle East. Whether you're dreaming of a career in the skies or curious about what happens behind the scenes in travel, I think you're going to find this conversation really inspiring. Let's jump right in. Hi, Professor Kalligiannis. Welcome to the podcast. So as I have mentioned previously, you've had such a diverse and impactful career across academia, consulting, and training. What would you say inspired you to enter the aviation field in the first place?
First of all, many thanks for inviting me at your amazing podcasts. It's really a great effort, great result, and it's always a great pleasure helping the young upcoming professional from now in terms of their aviation objectives. So I always had a deeply rooted passion about aviation, and I always wanted to work in aviation. I mean, I always had a dream of being an aviation professor, an airport trainer, and an aviation consultant, which finally achieved my professional dream. And what was the greatest motivator for me and my vision was to contribute to the aviation industry in a meaningful way. So that means supporting and helping my students to shape their knowledge and personal skills for being successful in the real world, help trainees grow professionally at a higher level, and also offer strategic high-impact solutions to airport and other aviation organization clients in challenging projects that they face. So each of my roles, each of the three roles, professor, trainer, and consultant, gives me a different kind, a unique kind of fulfillment and motivation. In terms of academia, it allows me to shape the next generation of aviation leaders. As a trainer, I'm able to empower successful aviation professionals with enhanced practical, real-world knowledge that will help them grow and provide real-life solutions to the challenges that they face. Finally, in my consultant role, I'm able to solve challenging and critical problems in airports in different environments, in different frameworks around the world. So in a nutshell, my career journey is very diverse, but deeply rewarding, and having these three roles is what makes me happy and makes me to have a unique career path.
Interesting. Lovely to hear your story. So going into more of like the technical side of things, specifically airport consulting, could you share some highlights or lessons learned from working on major international airports? And like some of the examples that I've read and some of the examples that you shared with me is the New Lisbon Airport master development, the ANA Portuguese airports, the New Delhi Airport capacity assessment, and some airports in Bosnia-Herzegovina. On top of that, what role does consulting do you think plays in shaping the future of airports and the aviation infrastructure?
So as an aviation consultant, I mean, it's a very rewarding, it's hard working around the clock, always traveling, spending a lot of your time in airplanes, which being an aviation enthusiast, I really love it. and in airports. But also it helps you solve very important problems. And when organizations, airport operators, countries, they get consultants, they are expected to solve problems, to provide their expertise for challenging problems that they cannot solve themselves, or they do not have the confidence or the skills. So, I mean, I can be talking for forever for each of the aviation consulting projects that I have worked. I mean, it's really a very high number in a very high number of countries. I mean, just for my company, KK-Aviation, I have been involved in consulting projects in more than 20 countries, plus all the other countries that I was involved before establishing KK-Aviation. So each of these projects has a different landscape, a different challenges. So you mentioned the new Lisbon Airport Master Plan development. I mean, that was, we start working for the new Lisbon Airport Master Plan. Originally was actually planned in a region near Lisbon called Ota. Then there was a cabinet reshuffle and the new minister decided to change the location. So we started again all the projects from the beginning for developing the new airport in the region called Al-Khashid. Then we had the change of government, which actually abandoned the project for the new Lisbon airport. And I'm hearing that it's back on the table after so many years since I was involved there. I was also involved in airport privatization projects, both in Portugal and Greece. In Portugal, I was providing consulting to the consortium, consulting support on behalf of the state, preparing all the tender documents, the new Lisbon airport, the master plan, the inventory for the existing airports, forecast, minimum technical requirements, etc. Whereas in the Greek regional airport privatization, I was on behalf of one of the bidder consortium, Actor Concessions NVC. I was a consultant for Actor Concessions, which helped them prepare their bid. So in Bosnia and Herzegovina, it was a completely different landscape. I mean, as you know, Bosnia and Herzegovina has a quite complex constitution that was formed after the war, and you have the different entities. So also decision making is actually, it's quite fragmented. And we needed to, I supported the framework transport strategy development for the country. And I was providing support and consulting advice for the aviation sector. So that was also very challenging and had a different very different approach for from the other projects that I have participated. Regarding New Delhi, I participated in capacity assessment, both for terminal and airside. It was before the opening of the new terminal because of the new airport. So the old airport was actually heavily constrained, and we're expecting the completion of the new terminal that will provide the quality of service and the capacity that the airport required urgently. So I can be talking forever for all the projects that I have participated. I mean, the most important thing is that all these projects were impactful projects across the globe in so many countries, and beyond the professional experience and the valuable advice that I have supported, there is also a real legacy in terms of shaping the future in these countries of the airports, shaping infrastructure, but also connecting people across borders and forming friendships that last for a lifetime.
Nice, nice. Thank you for sharing this. I've just noticed that there's so much that goes into like airport consulting and strategy, and the pressure and the workload is definitely there on you and for you. So, as I have mentioned previously, and you've already, I think, touched up on that, and I've already touched up on that. You're working at IU International University in Germany, I believe. Is that correct?
It's correct.
Yeah, specifically serving as the head of the Aviation Management Program. What trends do you see in aviation education today, and how are programs like the Aviation Management Online Program at IU International University preparing future professionals to work in this field?
Okay, so it's a great question. I mean, just to let you know that I have always been a great fan of distance learning education in aviation specifically, because aviation is a very practical, it's a hands-on experience. And when students work in aviation and study at the same time, the impact of their learning, it's really the combination of the practical knowledge and the academic knowledge is really very powerful. So IU International University is one of the leading universities offering aviation academic. Since it's historical, the on-site, the classroom program, and also the current, the futuristic, that we're looking ahead and we're offering the distance learning in order to reach students that are also working in the different parts of the world. So also when I started in, that was 2009, in the first university I have ever cooperated with was Daniel Webster College in the United States, and I was teaching at their MBA in Aviation program. At the time, distance learning education did not enjoy the same level of acceptance, but also the interactive tools that are available today. So it's a completely new experience. So IU International University, we are committed to offering high quality, interactive, personalized, and also impactful academic education. So what makes our offering unique? I mean, it's the term called amplified intelligence, which is not just employing artificial intelligence on its own in isolation, but bringing artificial intelligence together with human capabilities. So this combination is very unique. So our unique advantage of the amplified intelligence is to combine the strengths of human expertise. We have, as you already know, we have a renowned aviation faculty that are at the same time both top academics and at the same time also prominent industry practitioners. It's not just myself, but the entire team, the key team, has both very strong impact in aviation academia, but also in the aviation industry as consultants, as senior managers, etc. So what happens? We have the IU Aviation team with offering industry applied education, and we also have artificial intelligence that support our students on a 24/7 basis, providing instant feedback, tailored learning experience, and also proactive support in order to adapt to their unique needs. So the students are very well prepared for getting the maximum from the aviation professors. So what happened? Artificial intelligence enhances our ability to mentor, teach, and scale the impact of our learning and providing stronger outcomes to our learners.
Awesome. The IU International University Aviation faculty, often regarded as the dream team, as you mentioned, of the aviation education, has managed to bring some of the most experienced and visionary minds in the field, like Professor Leibold, Professor Finkenstein, Professor Hemmel, and the honorary Professor Martin Roll, and obviously you.
So it's a great pleasure and honor being part of this, as you correctly pointed out, IU Aviation Dream Team of aviation professors. And what actually make us work for IU, and IU being the first choice university for us to work together, is a clear commitment to excellence and in forward-thinking approach to higher education. There is strong commitment in industry-applied practical education, which is also, as we have already mentioned, amplified with artificial intelligence and new technologies. So we have we're able to add value to our students through making academic education accessible, flexible, and globally relevant through our experience, industry applied experience, academic experience, and also all the new technology tools. So it's the result is very unique. We have a real world understanding of aviation. And by having our shared passion, we are able to shape the next generation of aviation leaders.
Awesome.
In addition, I mean, to the IU Aviation Dream Team, we have also a very charismatic and renowned business professor, our manager, Professor Dr. Diana Murtagh Boehm, who has a strategic business and entrepreneurial vision and leadership that we work together in adding, in enhancing continuously our program and introducing new initiatives. In addition to the IU Aviation Dream Team and our business manager, we also have a team of dedicated academic lecturers and incredibly talented and passionate media production team that prepare all the scripts, all the videos, all the assignments. And also we have also a very supportive colleagues from the IU community that also help us reach and add value to our alumni. So in addition to all that, we have also, I can tell the name of one of our most famous past renowned colleagues, Professor Dr. Ulrich Dessel, that although that he has retired, he's always close to us, providing his wisdom and support and making sure that we continue to grow the well-established IU aviation legacy. So this holistic interdisciplinary effort allows us to deliver not just academic excellence, but a truly engaging and professional transformative learning experience for both our students and also our alumni. Remember, we all have the same mission to make a meaningful, lasting impact on the next generation of aviation leaders. And at IU, you may be a student for a few years, but you are alumni for a lifetime. So our initiatives make sure that our alumni is also involved and continue to grow.
Awesome. That honestly sounds like does sound like a dream team. And it's incredible that these students who are really passionate about aviation get to work with like such open-minded and professional people in the industry, right? So given like the ever-changing landscape of aviation, what core skills or mindsets do you believe these students that want to study aviation and this field need the most to thrive, especially in the future? Because a lot of people are very interested, as I mentioned. And along with that, what advice would you give to young students aspiring to enter the aviation sector?
So thank you for the great question. I mean, you are absolutely right. Aviation industry knowledge and experience is essential, but it's not sufficient on its own. You need also to develop personal competencies and skill, and also having the right mindset in order to make a difference. As the aviation industry is fast evolving, fast changing, we need to continuously adapt and involve our skills. So that's why, I mean, we have these IU aviation community initiatives that are not only targeting our existing students, but also our alumni. Okay? So the IU aviation community initiatives go beyond just industry knowledge, since they are equipping students and alumni with highly valued skills. We make sure that they develop their skills of leadership, strategic thinking, decision making, resilience, etc. There are many skills, and it depends from which part of the industry you are working. So I can give you one example. I was delivering training courses at one airport operator, and one of my trainees, he was the best performing in the training courses. At the same time, his performance at his actual job was very poor. So the HR director called me and asked me, KK, what is wrong with our employee? He's performing greatly in the training courses, but he underdelivers in his actual day-to-day work. So my response was that there's nothing wrong with him or the airport environment, but he's misplaced. It's like taking the faster dolphin from the ocean and placing it in the shore. It will die. So this particular trainee, which was really very talented and charismatic, he was very safety conscious, security conscious. He knew all the legislation, ICAO documents. He was very good in following instructions, but he was not customer centric. He didn't have cross-cultural awareness skills, and he was actually at the beginning he was in terminal operations, which having customer centric and also cross-cultural management skills is essential. So what happened? I had a discussion with the HR director, and they moved him from terminal operations to airside operation, and from being the worst performing employee, he became the best performing employee. That example is in order to tell you that it's very important also to look at each own individual's natural skills and help them decide on the right career path that they're going to select.
Awesome. Thank you. Loving this discussion so far. So now that we've discussed this, let's go into more of the emerging tendencies of the aviation industry. From your own global perspective, what are the biggest trends you see shaping the aviation industry in the next decade? As well, you've probably discussed, and what would you like to touch up on?
So this is another great question. I mean, when we're talking about the aviation industry 10 years ahead, it's really difficult to predict. I mean, even if I was Harry Potter, it would be impossible to look at 10 years ahead. But I mean, when we look at the current trends and challenges, I mean, of course, we have sustainability, that there is increasing pressure from legislators and also the general public in terms of the aviation industry becoming more sustainable. That means invest in sustainable aviation fuels, electric and hybrid aircraft, green innovation, etc. Which now this is not just having them as an objective is not enough anymore. It must become a strategic priority. So that's one important change. The other a key trend at the moment is agility. I mean, we have seen from COVID-19, the pandemic, how critical it is for aviation organization to being able to adapt quickly. So agility in operations, strategy, as well as workforce planning is also crucial. It's a current trend and will ensure that the aviation organizations maintain their competitive advantage.
Nice. Yeah, these are definitely some of the main goals of airlines as of today, right? So
Yes, I mean, I can actually, there are many more. I mean, there is also cost efficiency, operational optimization for investment in new technologies, smart technologies. You have AI that currently it's at the early stage of its development, but we're expecting to employ more and more aviation organizations, airline airports, predictive analytics, digital twins. I mean, the very important thing is to being able to streamline operations and also maximize margins, particularly for the airlines that it's one of the lowest profit margin industries. It's very important to be able also to become more agile, but also to streamline operations in order to increase profitability. So that's why also we have digitalization, and also personalization. So in the past, I mean, you had airlines, airports that were actually targeting their offering their service based on the target market. I mean, currently, thanks to new technology, we are offering personalized service, airlines and airports. And what's happening also, there is a two-way communication that aviation organizations can enjoy. So what is happening at the moment? The travel experience is completely changing. So leading airlines and airports are making sure that they offer a personalized travel experience. And we said new technology, biometrics, automation, AI, uh, new technologies for power engagement with customers. So what leading airports are focusing at the moment is to offer a life-changing experience to passengers either at the airport terminals or during the in-flight service. So because of that, very important is skill, a very important mindset of aviation students is of continuous learning and adaptability. And that's why also at IU, we are offering a personalized mentoring that, based on the example I gave you before, we at the beginning of the studies, we sit with the students, they complete some questionnaires, so we get some data in order to analyze their current skills. And we have a discussion with each one of them where they see themselves, where they want to be in the future. And we are developing together a personalized flight path to success. And we monitor their individual progress during their studies, but also we make sure they continue to grow after their studies through the IU aviation community that brings together both alumni and students.
Yeah, I think that's really helpful and important because the aviation industry is like just so big, and I think a lot of students like need help and guidance picking which career would be most suitable for them. So also a part of this like topic, how are like airports and aviation systems adapting to challenges such as like sustainability, as you mentioned previously, and possibly any post-COVID changes and adaptations, maybe in passenger behavior specifically, if you would like to touch upon that.
Yeah, another great question. I mean, there is regarding the passenger behavior, there is a shift in passenger behavior. I mean, what they want greater flexibility, they want a seamless digital experience, enhanced health and safety measures. Before COVID-19, the aviation industry was not well prepared for the pandemic, and that's why we had to develop solutions during the pandemic. Currently, all aviation stakeholders are much better prepared if a future pandemic take place. So one problem was that there wasn't the necessary investments were actually halted during COVID-19. That now, I mean, particularly airports, I need to quickly to develop infrastructure to expand their capacity and also enhance the quality of service. So currently, a lot of airports are investing in expansion and new technologies. We see also, for example, in the past, what airports were actually looking at reducing the waiting times at queues and queues length. I mean, currently, what airports are doing they are looking to eliminate, okay, to replace actual queues with virtual queues and with biometrics to be able to go through the processes without passengers having to spend time in actual queuing. That's very good, both in terms of quality of service experience, in terms of commercial revenues, in terms of seamless travel, and also better optimization of the existing capacity. So it's very important to focus on resilience and agility. I mean, also we say the workforce. I mean, what happens? There is a ratio that identifies the number of direct and indirect employment based on the annual passenger traffic at an airport. What has happened? I mean, the ratio is decreasing, but what is happening? You have the competencies of these employees are much, you need to have much more capabilities, more skills in order to be able to also operate in to have safety to be safety focused, security focused, customer centric, and also being able to fully utilize the potential of the new technologies.
Right. This is so cool because I've noticed like many changes in airports. For example, in like London Heathrow, you don't even have to go through like for the person to scan your boarding pass. You just go, and there's also no what is it called, like the passport control. You could just scan your ticket and you are just considered that you leave the country, and no immigration, no queues, no nothing. So these I think these shifts are really crucial to airports nowadays in order for them to grow and expand, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story and insights with us today. I really appreciate that you took the time to join. I know our listeners will walk away inspired by everything you shared. This has been an honor having you as our guest on my podcast. Thank you so much for joining, and I really, really value your time and your energy that you spent on joining this episode.
Likewise, congratulations on the great initiative. Keep working hard, and your success in the future success in the aviation industry is guaranteed.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.